NextFest 2025 is here, and with over 1,000 games to choose from, I decided to try 6 random ones, varying on styles, using the filters that they have. I want to keep this video short, as usual, so I'm going to speedrun review these games for you right now. And number 1. Day of the Shell takes the XCOM tactical combat, but adds roguelike progression, and comparatively, has a much more simplistic and casual ability system. Instead of the usual military tactics, it feels closer to Mario Rabbids, with a colorful, stylized world, and creative, diverse upgrades. The variety of abilities keeps things fresh, and has lots of promise. Even though I'm not the biggest XCOM fan, this one appealed to me. I'm adding this one to my wishlist for sure. Coming up to your left pretty quickly is Haste Broken Worlds. Haste Broken Worlds has you running up and down hills like Sonic, and the smooth momentum-based movement of SSX, making it one of the most satisfying racing experiences I've played in a while. Mastering the flow feels incredible, and the procedural levels keep things fresh. You collect gems in a very satisfying way, and in between some levels you get to unlock some new abilities and perks using those gems. There is always a void chasing you when you're running through the level. If you're too slow, the void will catch up to you, and the music starts to distort from its happy, joyous kind of sound. Sometimes it's unclear where to go, an arrow or better guidance would have helped. Overall, once you get the hang of it, it's a high-speed thrill ride that I put on my wishlist faster than I could say Sega! That was a pretty quick one, so let's slow things down a bit and talk about Song of Rats. Song of Rats is a choose-your-own-adventure, roguelike RPG with a dark atmosphere and lots of reading. The creepy storytelling and unique text-based approach set a great tone. The difficulty curve is brutal. You start way too weak, making combat feel punishing and discouraging. So is he really just going to do 8 damage to me right now? It makes you want to avoid fights rather than engage in them. There's a potential here, but the balance needs serious work. For now, I won't be wishlisting this one. After that leaving a sour taste in my mouth, I felt like I had to go to the experts and try Chef's Shift. This one was great. I saw it, and coming from Overcooked, I knew I had to try it. But right away, as you can see, it's a typing game. Everything from serving customers, to getting rid of the pesky mice, to typing in the menu. The game is very creative with its approach, as there are uptight customers who require you to type with capital letters, and foreigners who will require you to type with foreign words. The game surprisingly has a great story, with lots of twists and humor. I also want to add how it does look a little chaotic at times, but trust me, when you play it, everything is where it feels like it needs to be, very intuitive and very compartmental. The demo gave me a great taste and left me wanting more, which is a sure way of knowing I'll be wishlisting this one. So far we've been talking about pretty indie looking games, but let's take a look at one when it tries to look like it's AAA. The first Berserker, Khazan, not related to the anime series, takes the Souls formula but makes it more accessible. The parrying is more forgiving, movement is fast, and it introduces a skill tree, something you don't often see in a traditional Souls game. The anime-inspired art style also gives it a different vibe from the usual dark gothic look. The combat is fun and fluid, with lots of weapons, varied enemies, and different skills to experiment with depending on your playstyle. The stamina system feels restrictive, as I've always felt in other Souls games, but that's just a personal preference. While it's a solid game, it doesn't reinvent the genre. If you want an easier Souls-like game and dig the art style, this is worth a shot.
At last, a body.
Last, and unfortunately least, Day Zero is a text-based zombie survival game where your choices shape the story. However, the writing is cliché, the English is rough, the pictures don't match the scenes, and my personal opinion, but there are very few options when it comes to a text-based adventure. Lacking in graphics, you would expect there to be more paths that you can take, but instead I only came across 2 options each time. It's a shame because the description sold me, but the execution falls flat. I would say this is definitely not ready for release, not even as a demo. So that wraps up my NextFest 2025 reviews. Some impressed, some disappointed, but plenty to keep my eye on. Did you see some that you wanted to try? And what are some that you tried? Let me know in the comments below. See you next time.